I wonder if it is possible in Berlin.
This is simply a conversation about life.
Do you think the answer would be to have um like specifically sober parties to see if you could like have people say we are going to we're going to try to have this party and nobody's going to do anything except do you think people would even come to a party like this like
I have been to parties like that, but
okay
not in our society. Like
okay
when I was, for example, 3 years ago, I was in Gambia, West Africa, and one
mm,
of my good friends, she married there. And the
mm,
Gambia is a very, very small country in West Africa, and it is Muslimic and
mhm,
very strict, like very strict traditional. So their
mhm,
wedding was completely free of people who consume alcohol. But
mhm,
the way people were partying, the way people were feeling it, and how children even participated in that party, and the whole
mhm,
vibe was crazy.
mhm,
And to
mm,
me, that is one of the best examples of of it being possible, but sticking
mm,
to certain traditions,
mm,
sticking to certain amount of respect, and not crossing certain lines. You know what
mm.
I mean? But
Yeah.
now in our society, everything free. We are so liberal. You can do whatever the fuck you want. You can even because it's free, liberal.
Mm, mm. Okay. All right. All right. So okay. So do you think it would be all right? So we know that it's possible to do this, and I've obviously there was like a really great party that I used to go to in New York called Body and Soul. It was an incredible event. Before I ever went, I used to hear people talk about it, and they would be going all crazy about how good it was and how much of a spiritual experience it was and everything. And I didn't believe them. I was like, come on, man, like, yeah, all right, relax. You know what I mean? I thought they would be exaggerating, and there was no from what I could see, when I finally did go, there was they didn't even serve alcohol there, if I remember correctly. They didn't have alcohol, and I couldn't really. If people were doing drugs, it definitely didn't seem like it was the majority of the people, and it wasn't. And whatever they were doing probably was nothing crazy. You know what I'm saying? From this is the way I
Mhm.
remember it, and I remember having some of the incredible times there where it turns out, oh, it is exactly what people are saying it is, and I remember being all in there with tears in my eyes because I'm just feeling it so much, and like the age rate is like people that have been going to parties, people in there like I feel like I've seen people that look like they could have been in their 50s or 60s, which is now it's kind of normal now. I'm talking more like the 90s and the early 2000s, but um, Berlin has this where there's people in their 50s and 60s and stuff still going to clubs, but you can look at their faces and you can tell, yeah, you've been going to clubs a long time. You know what I mean? Like you've been indulging, and so it's
Yeah.
you can see it. You know what I'm saying? And so
Yeah.
I guess I can say, yeah, I understand that it is possible. I wonder if it is possible in Berlin. That's one thing I'm really interested to see if it would be possible in Berlin.
I think it's we are far away from that, like
Mm,
far away from that. Because I mean, at the end of the day, everybody can decide for themselves. You know, I'm not saying I hate these people and they're fuckers, whatever. I
mm,
just don't want to have that in my environment to this
right.
extent. And
Right.
at the end of the day, everybody has to decide for themselves if they want to open up the world of being sober to themselves, you know.
Right.
And again, I'm not saying that I have something against drinking a wine once in a while, like, but in the right context, I guess, you know. But it is something that every individual has to understand for themselves. And to get, like, I think if you consume drugs and alcohol to such an extent, you are far away of wanting to experience something spiritual, you know. You're far away from spirituality in that case.
Okay.